Among all colors, red is probably the most enigmatic. For instance, this Jaguar looks better in red than in grey. On the other hand, this Aston Martin looks much better in silver. And this is also true with some motorcycles. This Norton doesn't look natural in red. But on most Ducatis and some Hondas, a vivid red color seems to be the perfect choice. And why does this happen? I think it is related with the machine's personality. Almost as if it had to deserve it in order to use it. Welcome to Racertv. This is one of those no one can remain indifferent to. And if you're thinking this is just because of the red color, I'll have to say yes and no. It's much more than just because of the color. Judging by this side rest, you can easily see that the level of attention spent on every single detail of this build is simply astonishing. And I can assure you, the list of impressive stuff is quite daring. The man who dared to do it is Noel Muller, the founder of Black Cycles Australia. After finding this awesome Honda, I checked Black Cycle's Instagram. I was very impressed by the quantity and quality of the excellent projects he built. Some of them may not be at the same level as the project presented today. But even so, we can see that talent and originality are a constant for this builder. So, some of you might say, this is a cafe racer. If this is your case, some things will seem a bit weird. The truth is, this project also has some hot rod inspiration. You can see it on several features like a big diameter front wheel, the wide tire on the rear, and the very low front section. As I initially said, a red color only matches with certain machines, which means it is usually a very risky choice. The initial idea was inspired on the Ferrari theme. But the Ferrari red color alone does not guarantee that it will make the bike beautiful. And this is precisely the point in which Noel was brilliant. These burnt bronze tone parts are absolutely essential to make everything work. This may look like a simple and faded brown paint, but it isn't. It is a ceramic coat, which is a special mix with 10% gold mica. I think Noel was inspired by the old Ferraris from the 60s. But here is another very good choice. Considering the oil radiator and exhaust system have a silver grey tone, it seems Noel decided to leave a few parts with the same color. And there is more. If you look closer, you will see that most of the engine was painted with a very subtle dark grey. And this is another very clever detail that makes a huge difference, because it really looks like something that came out from the Ferrari factory. Now that you heard how the engine sounds, maybe this is the right moment to talk about it. Everything began with a 1983 Honda CB1100. But now it was promoted to CB1250. The engine upgrades and paint work were delivered to Justin from Pop Bang Classics. And to help the new engine interior, a bank of Yoshimura carburetors, a Dynatec ignition, a bigger oil radiator, and a full titanium nitro racing exhaust system, which had to be modified by MDS Fab to work with the lower stance. But to keep up with these new upgrades, a lot of work was also done on the frame, brakes, and suspensions. The front forks came from a Suzuki GSX-R 750, but the internals are now from Mullins, as well as the rear shocks. The front brake master cylinder is from Brembo, highlighting this very interesting oil reservoir. And if there are two of these, it means the clutch is now hydraulic and lighter than ever. The subframe had to be custom made in order to conquer a more flowing style. The triple trees, rear sets, and wheel hubs are from Cognito Moto. The swing arm is a beautiful vintage racing style alloy unit built in the UK by Metmax Engineering. But here is the most interesting thing. This is how it was, and this is how it became. Noel made all the welds disappear. And even more impressive, he did this on the entire frame, leaving it absolutely immaculate. Incredible as it may seem, he went even further. Did you see the brand of the tires? No. The photograph's quality is excellent. Allow me to zoom in. Believe it or not, Noel removed all the letterings from the sidewalls, just to match with the clean look of all the rest. And looking at this seat, you'll see that it couldn't get cleaner than this. According to Noel, 3 seats were made before getting this final version. And just like you, I really don't know how this cover was stretched to this point, without leaving any wrinkles or joints. But now, let's talk about the amazing fuel tank. Noel built it, modifying an aftermarket fuel tank. And on the top, a beautiful machine bezel and base plate, with a built-in digital gauge. But the main feature you surely want to know is about these very cool letterings. Noel only knew that this 3D style paint was made with paint buried in resin. But no one knew exactly how it should be done. Until Justin came up with the clever idea of building it up slowly, with a high-fill primer over a stencil. And it worked brilliantly. Because it still looks clean and simple, avoiding to leave the fuel tank too basic. Another very smart choice was to use a matte clear coat over the frame's structure paintwork. Because otherwise, the whole bike would look too shiny. Essentially, everything was extremely well thought, to the most insignificant detail. The kind of project that is fully loaded with very interesting and surprising solutions, accomplished with an extraordinary build quality. And now, I'm going to leave you with a very interesting question. Where is the battery? But here's a hint. It is almost as invisible as the rear turn signals, rear light, and most of the electric wiring. I bet you also didn't notice them. Did you? Thank you for watching Racertv. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.